All right, guys, welcome back to Relegation Battle. Pretty much just had the FA Cup action this weekend, but we're joined by Josh J as well, so thanks, Josh, for coming on. We'll start with you, actually. I heard you're a Gillingham fan at the moment, but you are a lifelong Chelsea fan, should we say, along with Ty. A good FA Cup game for you guys. Vernon Havertz getting a goal and an assist as well. How did you find the game? Is it a bit more positive for you guys now, do you think?
Personally, did you watch the game at all?
I only watched the highlights.
Yeah, I'm a very passionate Lampard out Chelsea fan at the minute. I feel like even though we beat Morecambe 4-0, Newcastle beat 7-0 earlier on in the season. So,
Josh, please turn that music off.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Turn it off. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And it was a bit like it was a shit game. If you can't say, can I?
No, it's
okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so in my opinion, it was still a bit of a shit game. Like I saw nothing different. It's just the fact we're playing a League Two side, so obviously we're gonna do half decent against them. But yeah, personally, it was still nothing special.
Yeah, Ty, we talked about it a bit last week, how this is basically a game where you could gain a bit more momentum going forward now. You've got Luton in the next round, and if you beat them, you've got Barnsley or Norwich after that. I asked Tom a couple of weeks ago if he would take a cup over finishing top four. He said no, it's not good enough. If you win the FA Cup this year, but you don't get top four, how would you feel?
Still disappointed because obviously I want Chelsea to win Champions League, and I don't care about the FA Cup that much. And I've seen Chelsea win it loads of times in my life, so I don't really care about it really. I'd rather have top four, to be fair.
Yeah, Josh, I mean, what's your opinion on Werner and Havertz and a couple of these new signings, CH as well? Ty, he's not a fan of Werner, he's backing Havertz. What about you?
So Havertz was essentially Chelsea Football Club being Chelsea Football Club. He's one of the talents in Europe that we bought him and we don't even know we were going to play him. I played him right attacking mid, but we bought him for the sake of buying him for like his status, not that he'd actually fit into our team. If Werner left Chelsea now, Werner would go score 25 goals in another league. He's just in a little bit of a rough patch. I think Werner's look at the amount of opportunities he gets. Yes, his finishing's awful, but look how many opportunities he gets. He's going to start banging goals soon. So, yeah.
Fair enough. And, Tom, we'll come to you. Should we say easy win over Marine, 5-0. Carlos finishes getting a first half hat-trick. We've got Wickham in the next round, Everton and Sheffield Wednesday after that. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it was predictable. Dominated. To be fair, I would have to say, like, fair play to Marine to even getting that far. And to be fair, for the first 20 minutes, like you got to remember they're in like the 8th league, I think.
Yeah.
So they were actually quite organised at the start. They started to tire a lot, and then the quality just overdone them. But yeah, good for Vinicius to get 3 goals. 2 of them were tap-ins, but you still got to be there. But his third one was a fucking really good finish. Whether he gets opportunities sometimes, and when he does, he typically takes them. The thing is, he's not going to get a chance. The only thing I would say is I'd like to see him come on more. Like if we're losing a game or we're chasing a game, shall I say, whether we're losing or drawing, he's only ever come on for, I think it was the West Brom game, and there might have been another one, but typically the West Brom game, and he actually had a bit of an impact in that in getting the winner. So I would like to see him be trusted a bit more when we are chasing a goal, but he's never going to get a chance against Kane, and we're never going to play 2 up front. But it was a good performance. Dele Alli had a very good game. He literally created and dictated the whole game. But yeah, we knew we were going to win. Wickham, looking forward to that. I went to the last Wickham game we had, and it was a bit of a scare. I think that was in the EFL Cup though. So I still think it was a good draw, and I would be expecting we play Everton if we do beat Wickham.
Yeah, and then I believe the League Cup was over the last week as well, so we didn't talk about that. You guys are into the finals against Man City. Jack will comment on that in a second. But how are you feeling going into that? There's a good win over Brentford, and it's a first chance at a trophy in a long time for you guys, or 12 years almost.
Yeah, last time we won a trophy was against Chelsea. We probably deserved to win it the following year because we actually went in the final against
How many
Man
trophies you won
United.
since? That's a question I've got.
Nothing.
We've won. Yeah, let's not talk too much.
Bruv, all right, you were established in like 2003, but all right.
2004, mate. Come and get it, right?
All right, 2004 then. Yeah, we're in the final. I didn't really know what team I wanted. At one point, I was like, I wanted Man United to lose, but then when Man City were winning, I was doubting myself, and I was like, oh, actually, I think I want Man United to win. I just couldn't weigh it up, so I wasn't really that fast. I trust Mourinho. I mean, if we lose, we lose, but we've got a good chance. We've got a good record against City in the Champions League. In Premier League, we've beaten them in quite a few times. They don't really like to play us. So hopefully Mourinho is typically good for these like specific matches, especially against big teams that press you. It sort of sets up well for him. So hopefully we can finally get a trophy. But we have other competitions. If we don't get it, I would like to see one trophy at least. But I think pressure is on because, like I said before, if you don't get a trophy and we don't get top four, I want to see him leave because top four is like the minimum you have to get like every year with us. So he needs to make sure he gets that as well. And there's going to be a lot of games piling up with all the competitions we're in. So hopefully we do win.
Yeah, I mean, this is Pep's trophy, to be fair. Like, it's hard to beat him in it, but I think if one manager can do it, probably is Mourinho. Jack, we'll move on to you. We'll start with the EFL Cup then. Another semi-final defeat for Ole, 4 in a row now. Against City again, just like last year. What went wrong for you on that day?
I think he didn't use. So the last couple of games before City, we played Eric Bailly with Aaron Maguire, and Maguire looked good again. So the thing with Bailly, because he's quick, when we play him, we can push our defensive line higher up. But with Maguire and Lindelof, we have to drop the defensive line. The fullbacks have to tuck in to deal with their lack of pace. And because they weren't playing with a out-and-out number 9, I think Morris started up there and he kept drifting in front of the back four and behind the 2 CDMs. So it was just a case of there was too much space in and around the midfield.
Yep. You guys did that, of course, so you got a chance for a trophy, but is it a bit demoralizing losing another semi-final like this?
Yeah, because if we don't chase something soon, it's gonna become like the mentality. The player's gonna think, "Oh, we've done it 4 times in a row. There's surely something wrong." So we just need to. I think like the players we have are kind of good in getting rid of this. So whenever we lost, when we lost to Spurs 6-1, we reacted quite well. Won quite a few on the bounce after that. So I think the players can. It's just whether they will get it out of their heads.
Oh, you guys did beat Watford on the weekend 1-0. McTominay scoring. He was captain of the side as well. Next round, you got Liverpool now. How are you feeling about that?
I mean, I know it's easy to say you got to beat everyone or you got to beat the teams to win the trophy, but you don't expect that big of a draw this early on. But it's a good test for us. I mean, I know we'll probably speak about this, but we've got them next weekend, so we'll probably be playing them in this game soon. So it's going to be a good test for us.
Yeah, we'll go on to Prem now. 2 big games for you this week, but in sort of different circumstances. Burnley, if you beat them, go top 3 points clear of Liverpool, and then you do play Liverpool. How important are these next 2 games for defining your season, do you think?
It's massive. Like I've said in our previous shows, I'm not saying we're going to win the league, but to get 3 points against Burnley, to go into that Liverpool game 3 points ahead of them, we're going to make it would be a massive statement. I think if we no matter the Liverpool, I think if we lose to Burnley, I think that would show all the fans that we're not ready for this. But I think if we beat Burnley and avoid defeat at Liverpool, then I think even though we shouldn't, because it's still very early, some of our fans will get very excited.
Yeah. Josh, what do you think about that? Do you think United are like strong title contenders this season? Do you think it's just the way the league's going this year is a bit more unpredictable?
Sweet, I'm just looking at United's last games. So the game against Wolves was Rashford in like what minute? The 90th?
93rd, yeah.
Yeah, 93rd. Aston Villa was the second goal. Was it a pen?
Yeah.
Is it? It was a pen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the video I saw, didn't Pogba clip his own leg?
That was after Douglas Luiz clipped his leg.
Okay. So what? Anyway, so that was the last. I'm trying to get your fixtures up. I just think this season the level of football in the Prem has actually been probably one of the lowest levels it's been in a while.
No, you're right.
Look at the point. Yeah, look at the points tally. Like 33 points for a league leader at this point in the season. Is that one of the lowest tallies?
Yeah.
Probably,
yeah.
So Man United are making the most because Man United, like Jack said, after the Spurs spanking, they went on a good run of games, and in a season like this, going on like how many did you win on the trot? Was it?
I don't know. I don't.
Well, I'm seeing win, win, draw, win, win. So that's like that's 12 points in fucking or 15 points.
Since the Spurs game, they've only lost one in the league, and that was to Arsenal.
Yeah, so they've gone on quite a good run, and because of the level of the Prem this year, it's quite evident they're in a decent position. But you need to remember, United are still in the Europa League. Like there is a lot of games to play, and personally, United does not have any like. Who in United's team is like? I'll say it for Chelsea as well. No one in Chelsea's team is a leader. Who in United's team's a leader? Then like Liverpool got Henderson. United are ready to win the league. I think Liverpool win it again. I don't think the mentality like Rashford. Yeah, he's class, but he isn't. I don't think Rashford's gonna single-handedly carry him to a league title, in my opinion.
I think Bruno a leader then.
It depends because look what he done against City. That was like his opportunity to show what he had in his locker, and he ghosted. He actually went missing that game.
But no one produced against City. It's not like he had a poor game and the rest of our attackers had a good game.
But that's the point about being a leader. But you have to like you got.
But he came in. He's dragged us to third place.
Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, he's come in and he's done a madness. But to be at that level,
third place. If we
you need more than one leader.
Yeah, you need more than one leader.
We wouldn't be in this place without him. If we didn't sign him in January, we would not have finished top 4 and we wouldn't be where we are right now.
I'm not disagreeing with that at all, but that's what I mean. Bruno Fernandes is like, he's sick player, get bare goals, bare assists. But to win the league, you need to have a leader. And in big games, you need someone to come like pull it out of the bag for you. Like with Liverpool, Mane or Salah will pull it out of the bag for you, innit? And that's probably what will win Liverpool the league. Mane like getting a little 1-0 or Salah getting a 1-0. Like I feel like United's on a good run, but like it will kind of come to an end quite soon.
Yeah, but I think Liverpool did it a lot last season. They were so good, but some games they won
again 1-0 wins.
Playing well.
Yeah.
But we did that. We scored in 93rd minute when it was a boring game against Wolves.
Yes,
we scored in 93rd minute. Deflective shot to win a 1-0. We got, in my opinion, it probably was, but with our people, it was debatable whether it was a penalty against Aston Villa. And then we went and scored it.
Yeah,
so we can't, at the moment, I can bring you so many games where we played bad and lost this season, but there's so many times where we played bad and still won.
West Brom.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you like how Man United plays?
I don't think we will win it because Ollie likes Lindelof and Maguire together. They're good individual players, but together they could not win a title just because they contradict each other so much. They're just too slow. What was your question, Josh?
And do you like how Man United play? And another thing with Ollie, why didn't he play Twanzebe when he played in the Champions League? Pocketed fucking Mbappe, why hasn't he played another game since? Like he barely
I don't
plays
know
it.
that,
Like, he hasn't got a clue what he's doing, innit? He should not be a Man United manager.
You can't say that. I mean, I know why he didn't play the game after is because he hasn't played he was injured for basically a year. He puts him in and he pockets, you're right, Neymar and Mbappe, but then you can't. He played very well, but injured for 10 months, you can't expect him then to play a couple of days later.
But isn't it like, don't a good manager tonight? Ole don't really like taking risks, really, does he? And
no, he has his favourites. I mean, and we saw we go back to this Watford game. We go back to this Watford game. We made so many. I wanted changes, yeah, but it just shows how dependent we are on Bruno. That performance against Watford was the performance we were putting week in, week out before we signed him last year. But then you have to give credit to Ollie to buying that player as well.
I don't think it was. You lot wanted him the summer before, didn't you?
Yeah, but then we didn't take him because it wasn't even Ollie. Ollie wanted him still. It was
Mourinho wanted him. I'm quite sure Mourinho wanted Bruno Fernandes, and the board didn't let him buy him, and they didn't let him buy a centre back.
Oh yeah, well yeah, and even the summer before the January brought him, Ollie wanted Bruno, but our board said no because he takes too many risks. And then we went and got him in January. I mean, to answer your question about I do. I mean, the games against Southampton, Everton, when we go 1-0 down, we started so slow, but once we get going, we actually play some very entertaining attacking football. It's just sometimes, especially last season against the big teams, we sat back. I mean, this season we've tried and pushed forward a bit more, which is why I think we haven't done as well against the big teams this year. Which is why I think a lot of Man United fans wanted that improvement. We saw last season just sit back and counter, a bit like what Spurs are doing, but obviously, and in this season we've decided to press a little bit higher than normally, but obviously that hasn't worked that well.
Yeah. What about Pogba going? Like, what do you think about that? Because PSG wanted 75 million price tag.
I'd love it. I'd love him to stay if he committed his future, but with his agent, I just don't see him doing that. So, he's probably got to go.
And then Van der Beek, like, what's Ole doing with Van der Beek? Like, if you had Van der Beek, yeah,
it's annoying because we go back to. I mean, I've said it quite a few times. I mean, with whether you want Lampard in, he's been backed. And you can say, oh yeah, Ole's been back. He spent 80 million on defender, but Ole wanted Sancho, didn't get him. Ole wanted Jack Grealish, didn't get him. So he got Van der Beek instead. I'm sure he liked Van der Beek, but Van der Beek wasn't his first choice player. So at the moment, I think it's just about gaining the manager's trust and settling him in. I mean, he spoke about when we brought Fred, that first season, Fred was awful. But now he's growing in. He's become a very important player to our team. So it's just, I think, about taking time. I think everyone, even though I say it about Havertz and Werner, even though some players like Bruno perform straight away, every player needs at least a season to settle into a new league, new country.
Is Van der Beek a flop? Because, sorry, Ty, I don't know if you said it. I think it might have been you. It was either you or Jay tweeted, because obviously you get a lot of stick about Havertz, innit?
Yeah.
And then I believe you tweeted about what about Van der Beek? Why is he not being called a flop as much as Havertz?
Because every time he plays internationally, he's sick.
It depends, because when Havertz and Werner have played a lot this season, yeah? They've played a lot this season. Van der Beek hasn't played, but when Van der Beek has played, he's played well. It's just he hasn't played enough. So it's up. I probably wouldn't call it because he hasn't. But every time he's played, he's put a solid.
He can only do what he can. It's like Vinicius Junior. Like I said earlier, he can only do what he can when he gets played. He can't have an impact.
Exactly,
on the
and
pitch.
because I've literally just said Ollie has his favourites. Van der Beek against Watford, yeah. I know Scott McTominay was named man of the match for BT Sport, but for me and a lot of fans, he was man of the match. He was excellent. So, but that doesn't mean he's not going to start tomorrow against Burnley. Ollie has his favourites, so no matter what he does, he's still got to settle in. So personally, I wouldn't call him a flop, but I understand if you do.
Yeah, I think that was Jay because what's it called? I
Yeah.
rate Van de Beek because I remember when we played Ajax last year, like he ripped our midfield apart, like him and Ziyech. So yeah, he was sick. So yeah, I rate him. So yeah, it's probably Jay that came out.
Yeah, I
and said
think it
that,
was
'cause,
Jay.
Yeah, we all know what he's like.
Yeah, check.
Yeah.
I think the other sort of transfer news that United today was Fosu Mensah's on his way to Bayer Leverkusen. I'm not sure if it's a permanent or a loan
Yeah,
deal,
it's
but
agreed. I think it's permanent.
permanent.
Yeah, I
Then.
think it is. Yeah.
Fosu Mensah, he has put a couple of good performances, you guys, over the years. Still quite young. Are you happy with that? Are you a bit like confused?
Not
I
that
mean,
deep, is it?
I'm neither happy nor sad. I mean, I don't really have an opinion on it. Like you said, he has actually had some very good performances with us. I mean, when he came through, all our fans were really gassed about him. When he came in under Van Gaal, he was playing excellent at right back. We were like, yeah, he's going to be a new CDM, and just hasn't worked out. I mean, I think he did his ACL, which didn't help him. But even when he's played recently, he hasn't put in mind-blowing performances. So it's probably got to go. I mean, you think about maybe you don't want him to go, but sometimes your club needs to sell before they buy. So I feel like that's just selling like some of the deadwood. But he's still young, like you said, and he's still a good player.
Yeah. Well, I think obviously Arsenal managed to beat Newcastle in the end. Got very lucky with Lennon making a good save from Andy Carroll, but then Smith Rowe came on, scored a goal after almost being sent off. I think it was rightly overturned, and then Aubameyang thankfully got a goal as well. Hopefully, he can kick on. Yeah, relying on our youngsters a lot in the last few games, which is a bit worrying, but at the same time, if they're playing well, I'm happy. We've got Shrewsbury or Southampton in the next round, and after that, if we beat them, we've got Chorley or Wolves. We've got Palace on Thursday as well. Unfortunately, George isn't here to talk about it, but we do have them on Thursday. Another important game for us, I think, because our recent record against Palace is not good. It's a bit like the Brighton one. George just messaged us now. Yeah, I think...
I've got a question for you. I've got a question for you, Joe.
Yeah, go on.
Do you reckon Arteta has a clue what he's doing?
Yeah.
Why is he recalling Guendouzi from London, from Hertha, when he sent him out?
I think he knows we need the midfield depth, and obviously there was a bit of problem between him and Guendouzi last year with the Dubai incident and then the Brighton incident as well. But if he's willing to say, yeah, I made a mistake letting him out and we do need him, then I'm all for it because I'm a big fan of Guendouzi. I don't think Hertha Berlin are doing too well at the moment. I think he's put in a couple of decent performances with them. Can't say that I'm watching week in, week out, but I'm more than happy to bring him back. So I think he has definitely made some questionable choices as manager this season, but...
And then Saliba, what happened?
Yeah, Saliba, I honestly don't know. So, I mean, I've told these guys I've never been a fan of Liga. I've never even watched Saliba play before he joined us. I've only watched that NK Dons game in preseason, so I don't know what the situation there was. And for me, the biggest point is Arteta didn't sign him. It was Emery, so I don't blame Arteta if he doesn't want him. I don't know how good he really is, but I think it was important that we just got him out on loan because there was just constant negativity around Saliba in the case of why wasn't he playing, why isn't he getting the chance? He's a 19-year-old who hasn't... Before he joined us, he didn't play from February because he had a bad injury and then obviously COVID as well. So I'm not sure what the whole situation is there. I can't tell you.
Defenders.
Pardon?
He's meant to be the Mbappe of defenders, according to Arsenal fans.
I can safely say I've never said that. But yeah, I think there was a lot of hype around him from Arsenal fans. A lot of deluded Arsenal fans, I must say, because there are a lot of us out there. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to watch Nice. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to watch that league at all. So I still can't tell you how he's doing. But
yeah,
I tell you, this is part of the long-term plans. What was that?
You can't help what clubs are in for him, but even obviously as an Arsenal fan, you must. But I would have even liked to see him because there was a lot of hype around him. So I was hoping maybe he would have gone to a Prem team.
Yeah,
maybe
someone
else would have scouted him, but you don't know who was. Maybe no Prem team.
That's the problem though, because the Prem is so tight this season. If you were to load him out, it'd probably be someone around us in the table. And see if he starts
Nah.
doing well there, that's a bit stupid from us, I
Send him,
think.
like, West Brom would take defenders.
Nah, you wouldn't want him to go West Brom.
I wouldn't want him to go to West Brom.
but anything. I'll take any
Newcastle.
team, even if it's Sheffield United, because all that matters is you just need him to get used to the intensity and all the teams and the players.
And teams like that, they're not doing well.
They're going to be defending.
So they'll just be
they're going to be
defending.
struggling.
You'll just
Yeah,
see
They'll
if he's
probably be
good.
better.
I think right now, because he hasn't played in so long, maybe he just needs to get confidence, a bit more of that home feeling. So I think sending him back to France is a bit more comfortable, maybe put a bit more family around him as well. Because obviously he did have a lot of family issues, not issues, but yeah, there were like problems there. I don't know if problem's the right word, that's my bad. But yeah, I think just being in that more home-like feeling is better for him rather than say going to West Brom, go to Sheffield, where there's another new place for him. May not be players he knows, like he might still have relationships with players he has at Arsenal now. So I'm happy he's gone on loan, but yeah,
he was considered better than Fofana.
What was that?
He's meant to be better than Fofana, so you lot
he was meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, Fofana's doing well there, so
wouldn't that be for him as well, though? So, because wasn't there rumours? He's not up to the intensity. He's just going to go back to learn the lower intensity of France again.
But he's just playing now, isn't he? That was the main thing, just playing him somewhere he's comfortable. I think rather than because would he be comfortable at West Brom? Would he even start at West Brom?
Yes.
Yeah.
But if he's not up to the intensity, will he start for a big sign who's
you put that in the contract. You put in the contract that he has to play. You can do that. How much of a role they can have. What I would have wanted is like their agents go into any Prem team. It don't matter who it is. Yeah, I would have even taken I'd even have taken Championship because we've put Skip at Norwich and he's been absolutely brilliant. It's the intensity might not be at too much of the level of the Prem, but it's up there. It's going to be better than the French league that he's already. He's good there. So if he's struggling with the intensity, you need to get him in English football now. So
I get it's just about the playing time. That's what I get. I think it still should have been somewhere in England, whether it was Prem or Championship.
Yeah,
he would get playing time at the clubs. He would.
That's like our situation with Thingy, Tamori, because apparently he was linked he was meant to go to Rennes in the summer or something, but obviously French league and that, and then he was meant to go West Ham, but apparently something happened there. Everton as well, like he's been linked to loads of clubs. Now it's Leeds, but is he gonna start there? I'm not sure, but
they're not letting him go.
Who knows? They're not
because Christensen's injured, so he's got to stay.
Nice.
So Christensen,
he's awful.
He's so dead, man.
He's terrible. Let's not talk about Chelsea.
Yeah, well, I mean,
do you know who's actually shambles? Loftus-Cheek. He's actually dreadful.
Don't say that. Ty bigs him
these guys
up.
Are crying.
Ty loves him.
I agree.
He has been shit at Fulham.
I watched him the other day.
He's done now, man. That injury's finished.
He's in and out.
They
start him, then they put him on the bench.
Oh, speaking of Fulham, hasn't Tottenham game been rearranged?
Yeah.
Cancelled Aston Villa and Fulham's been in place of it on Wednesday.
Yeah, just
kind of peak on Fulham.
So I think the Chelsea game got pushed back a day as well because they were meant to be playing Fulham on Friday. But yeah, I mean, just finish up on Arsenal. I think I'm happy with the transfer window how it's going because it seems like Socrates is leaving. Last night has gone out on loan, so just getting the wage bill out a bit. Holding, it seems like he's signing a new contract, which I'm happy with because I think it's like a win-win with him because he's improving a lot under Arteta, like passing out the backs, improving. He's good at defending. Worst case scenario for us, I mean, he's still like 25 right now, but say for the next 3 years, he doesn't improve to level we want him to. He's still a good depth player and he feels a homegrown quota as well. So I think whatever happens is a win with the Rob Holding situation. So looks like Ozil's on his way out as well to either DC United or Fenerbahce. Still not sure which one he's going to yet. Does look like he's leaning more towards Turkey at the moment, but I think I love Ozil as a player and what he's done for the club. I think it's just a bit like the Saliba situation. Just get him out of the club now and end that sort of negativity around Ozil after every game we sort of lose. Or why is he not playing this and that? But also this week, I know Ty will be happy about this. CRAWLEY embarrassing Leeds 3-0 in the cup. 2-0 up and then bringing Mark Wright on is just a bit of a kick in the teeth for Leeds. But yeah, another embarrassing defeat for them.
At least they play good football.
Do you see Ian Carlo? Do you see Ian Carlo's nutmeg on their fullback?
Yeah,
He means Paveda,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, his name's. Oh yeah, that's it. My bad.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one. Yeah, but his nutmeg was dirty.
yeah.
yeah. And then Chorley beat Derby as well. Chorley another non-league side, but I think Derby, like Aston Villa, had
No,
to play a
Derby
youth team.
had
Yeah.
Youth
Derby had,
team.
like,
played their reserves, so
Yeah.
it was expected.
Yeah, it was expected because, like Villa, they had some COVID issues, and then obviously Villa losing 4-1 to Liverpool, but putting up a decent display. Obviously, a lot of youngsters in the team. I think the average is about 18 for them. And then Liverpool playing the likes of Mane and Salah, it was always going to go that way. But I think they showed a bit of strength there, held their own. Brighton beating Newport on penalties. I think Steele made 4 saves in that shootout. So
Yeah,
very impressive from him.
it was a poor penalty shootout from
Yeah.
Brighton. They're a shocking team. They're actually shocking.
Then I'm just looking at the other results. West Brom being knocked out by Blackpool, but I'm sure Big Sam's happy with that. Cup fixtures for them. Leicester 4-0 against Stoke. I think James Justin scored a really good goal in that game.
What a goal.
Very nice goal from him. Elsewhere, Everton beating Rotherham. Norwich beating Coventry. Wolves beating Palace 1-0 as well. And then I believe it was basically all the big... Oh, Sheffield United as well. Finally winning a game on... I think it's Chris Wilder's 100th win as manager as well. So maybe that could change their season around. Probably won't.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, just about. But yeah, so I think you might have 2 Prem games now before our next episode. So I think the one team to really look out for is Man United. They're make or break for them with Burnley and Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool as well. I think not really sure if they're going to sign a centre back or not because it does seem like they need one. Playing Henderson and
They're looking
Fabinho,
at
Yeah, they're looking at
Sven Botman, I think his name is, from
Lille.
Lille.
yeah, Lille.
20-year-old
Yeah.
Dutch guy.
Yeah, I mean, whether or
be
not
really
he can
good.
solve their problems, different story. But Klopp's been a bit hesitant on the centre back, like talking about it, whether he'll sign one or not. But they'll definitely need one before the end of the season if they want to hold off Man United. That is.
Did anyone see Klopp's interview or press conference after the Southampton game? Like when he was talking about
Penalties.
I think he was like, penalties.
Yeah.
He's such a sore loser.
I can't
He
stand
said that
him.
and then said, "I'm not going to make any excuses."
Yeah.
He does it
Yeah,
all
I
the
mean-
time. He says something and said, "I'm not going to make any excuses."
Yeah, I mean,
Sick manager though.
yeah, good manager, not the best loser.
Yeah.
Fair enough to him.
Yeah.
I think so we've definitely seen that over the years from him. A bit of excuses to be fair. He's making excuses. I think some of them were a bit right, but at the end of the day, they didn't play well against Southampton. Ings with a great finish on that day, but they didn't play well. So it's just
There should be 5 subs though.
Pardon?
I feel like he is right with that. The 5 sub thing.
Yeah, I back that.
Yeah.
It's a bit ironic. He said that, but then plays some of his stars against Aston Villa's youth team. He can moan about wanting people like changing up, but he could have rested Salah and Mane and played. I don't know who they, but he could have played.
They could have used anyone.
They could have used some youth players. So I do believe that it should be 5 subs as well. But then to keep saying that and then use 2 of your best players in that game, I just think that's a bit.
Wants
He
to
done
win.
that in the Champions League as well. Like when they already won the group, and then Jota got injured in that game as well. So
yeah, I think Pep does a lot. Pep obviously does want 5 subs, but sometimes he doesn't make a sub in the game. Maybe they think they lack the bit of depth there. I don't know. But then why do you want 5 subs? It's a bit of a weird one, but it's definitely something that probably helped the big teams more than the weak teams because obviously of that squad depth that they have. But yeah, this is about right now. Yeah, I think that is. Unless you guys have anything I've missed out this week. If I think about other leagues, AC Milan winning, that is 4 points clear of Inter now top the league.
Yeah.
They're doing very well, but they did lose to Juve last week, which is their first defeat of the season. Juve winning it on the weekend as well. Ronaldo's equaled I would say Joseph Bickhand's record of 759 goals now. Unless Pele wants to dispute that, of course, but we know what that situation's like. Because apparently Pele scored 1,200 goals, but including friendlies, that is.
Hurrah.
Yeah, but
Oh.
I don't know too much about that. Messi started the season 2021 very well, 2 goals, 2 assists by end, and Sancho's also doing very well, which is good for England. But yeah, that's all from this week. Have a nice.
Before I think it's time to talk. I think it's time we sit